Happy Friday, everyone. Let's talk about Moana live action. Let's talk about live action Disney, plus other films, Evil Dead, Burn. Is it a good Evil Dead movie? Is it a good horror movie? Is it a good movie? And lots of news, including some breaking news we will get to. And someone is going to join me on this show. And he's usually right here waiting in the wings. Where is he? Where is he?
Alan, I've been looking for you myself. Alan.
What took you so long?
Mickey Mouse getting in like
Good.
bum rushing me like that.
There you go. Oh my God. I cannot wait to get to the movie. You do not know the other movies we're reviewing today. Gail, Daughtry, and the Celebrity Sex Pass. Also, Maddie's Secret, and Alan may reveal the secret.
Yeah, if the poster doesn't already.
We were just talking about it. No, oh my God. Alan, you took one for the team. You took
well,
one
you're lucky I made a mistake on Tuesday and
that was great.
Had time to see Maddie's Secret.
Oh man, no. Okay, yes. Lots of movies to review, but with lots of news. So let's talk to the people, see what they have to say. Andrew Cram gifted one Film Threat membership.
Andrew.
Thank you for that. Royston S. Bailey for 6 of something.
I don't know. Is that Bitcoin or something?
I don't know, but I feel validated. Just to thank you for a fun and informative channel. We thank you for that. We appreciate. We love doing these live streams. It's fun. Sons and Shadows Cast. Greetings, chat. Well, you don't say greetings to me. It's good to see you, Sons and Shadows Cast. Hopefully, I'll see you. Well, probably next year, unless we do. We'll talk unless you're
coming to San Diego. I think that's what.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. The description for Sex Pass sounds like Adultery, the comedy.
Oh, you're not that far off.
Yeah, and wait till Alan tells you his review of The Invite. We've also got that. That's one we missed.
This is going to be one sexy weekend.
This is. I really want to. And we also have an interview today. I'm excited to interview the Last Picture Show's director, Rustin Thompson. We've got his documentary. We'll talk to him about it. It's about old movie theaters all across America, how they're trying to stay in business, and really cool. And Sons and Shadows Cast gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Check out in the members only videos. I shot a bunch of video at the Dune Part 3 trailer event, and I posted them for members only because we got copyright struck on like all of them. So
told you.
But they're not monetized. They're for members. And thank you, Sons of Shadows Cast. And howdy, CG and Alan from your fave Comet. And glad you are doing well and healthy. I know you had a scare. I know all about the scares. Alan, why don't you read this one?
Lord Thaw says, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, and buy our merch, shop.filmthat.com, as we walk down the road to 169,000 subscribers.
And wait till you see this. I don't know if you're aware of this, Alan. We're halfway to Halloween. We're at the halfway mark, and in a few short months, Spirit Halloween is going to open. It's going to be Halloween season sooner than you think, and we got the shirts. Film Threat the 13th, A Nightmare on Film Threat. Our other shirts, we've got our Trader Threat bags. I love these bags.
Oh my God.
Also, summer style tank tops and beach towels for summer, and Doomsday duds. I know we're going to be talking about Doomsday quite a bit in the next few weeks because we are going, Alan, I think you might already know this. We are going to Comic-Con. That's right. We're going to Comic-Con, and let me show you what's going on here. We're doing Film Threat is doing a panel, but so here's the panel. It's our Indie Filmmaker Survival Guide. It's on Friday, July 24th 12:30 p.m. at the Convention Center, room 24 ABC. Robert Meyer Burnett, Joseph Kahn, hot from Taylor Swift's wedding and some argument on X, Jim Agnew, friend of the show, myself, Christopher Moonlight, writer and filmmaker for Film Threads, and April Wright will be on the panel, all things indie film. And guess where you and I will be? We will be at the Big Man Comics booth at San Diego Comic-Con, booth 1750, Friday, July 24th between 2 and 3 p.m. That's after the panel. Then we'll be doing a live stream from the floor. Then Saturday, July 25th, 11 to noon. So we'll do 2 short. It's just a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Say hello. We may have some free stuff for people. Come by the booth. I got free stuff for you. So get ready for that.
Yeah, it'll be Angry Me and George Lucas.
Exactly. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So join us at San Diego Comic-Con. Put it in the calendar. A few last minute soups came in. Let's get these before we get to the news.
Tyler, Disney official for 5. Hey, Chris and Alan.
Hey, Tyler, see you at the Odyssey next Thursday, if not before.
And it's 1L. JC 1 of 2 for $4.99. Film Threat makes the workday go faster.
Oh, thank you. You're gonna have fun today, I promise.
Yes, we increase the velocity of every day. Royston Bailey became a YouTube member.
Check out the members only videos. Lots of Q&As, lots of candids of Alan and myself.
Yes, and Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Morning, gents. Gong me, Chris.
This is a surprise. You can't ask for a gong, but it.
You are the master of timing.
Perfect. Hey, thank you.
And John Hu for 742. Happy National Pina Colada Day. Speaking of the invite,
I didn't know there was one. That's crazy, Alan. And one last thing to remind people, it is Alan's dream. What's our dream?
To one day reach 169,000.
That's right. So, Alan, we are close to that, less than 7,000. Everyone wants, I want 200,000 subscribers, 1 million. No, we're going to get to 169,000, and then that's it. We want to stay that way. So 169,000, we will have an
No. The next goal is 69,000.
Yeah.
6,960,000.
No. 690,000 will be the next goal. But please, if you're new to the channel, give us a sub. You'll have a lot of fun. Hey, let's get right to the news, and we've got a lot of it, Alan. I always forget to do this. It's time for Film Threat News. Michael will be the biggest biopic ever. $1 billion for Michael. A sequel is incoming. I'm going to predict it right now. The Michael sequel is going to be called Jackson. Just a guess. But is there a prequel in the works? This popped up. I see a lot of comments, but I don't see a lot of news about this. It is the trailer for Joe, which is being described as a prequel to Michael. Let's take a look at this, Alan. Are you ready? I'm a huge Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 fan. We gave a rave review to Michael. Audiences clearly loved it to the tune of $1 billion. But Joe Jackson, about, Michael Jackson's father, we saw him as being a very abusive dad in Michael. Could he be made to be sympathetic? Let's take a look at this.
Every legend starts with a dream.
Get your ass up. It's time to dance. Damn it, Tito! How many times have I say it's 1-2 step?
The untold story of Joe Jackson.
But we just want to play with the other kids.
You ain't regular kids, man. Jackson 5. Wake up, dance. Go to sleep, dance. Fix your face, man. On the top.
5, 6, 7.
Didn't I tell y'all? Practice the steps. This step.
I don't know. Is this AI or is this terrible makeup?
It's terrible makeup.
Do
you not watch these things before?
I saw it pop up. Let's watch the rest.
All right.
Step.
Dad, I thought it was step club step.
Childhood is nothing without fatherhood.
What are you doing, Joe? You can't keep doing this, Joe.
Somebody gotta teach these boys how to be a man.
I'm tired, Joe. Those boys are tired, Joe.
Well, you can leave.
If I'm leaving, I'm taking my boys with me.
Ain't nobody taking my boys out this house.
A father's love has no limits.
Why can't we go and play with the kids in the park?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody playing with those kids in the park. My God! Get back here!
Life in the 1960s, where you could get away with just about anything.
How was school, Jackie?
It was good. I finally started passing my classes again.
Jackie got a girlfriend.
Ain't y'all worried about selling records?
Calm down, Joseph. You're scaring the boys.
Talking about hit records. Who done made a hit record in this house? Hit record! Y'all gonna make a new life for me.
I'm tired of dancing.
You want me to take this belt off? Fix your face, Michael, before I fix it for you.
They should do belts as like a promo for this. This looks like a parody from In Living Color.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a parody from something.
The boys are staying!
Those are my
The boys are
boys!
staying!
My boys!
Follow his rise. Understand his genius.
Get back in here. It's time for rehearsal.
Experience his greatness.
Y'all gonna arrest me for doing my job? Okay, so y'all trying to take old Joe out the house for whooping my boy's ass. It's showtime. Woo! I gave y'all all I got.
Joe.
Joe, can we get ice cream after this?
Coming to theaters this fall.
Okay, is this really coming to theaters?
No, it's not.
This is not, dude. That may be fake.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, that may be fake. Okay. That may be fake.
Okay, it may be fake, but I thought it was funny.
No, I'm just saying it's close to being funny. There's I'm not going to go down the comedy list here. Why it barely passes. Has funny moments. Let's put it that way.
Okay, funny moments.
It's just it falls short of being a true parody. That's all.
All right. Hey, Godzilla -0 is coming. We saw a teaser trailer at CinemaCon. It did come out. A new poster just released. Here it is, Godzilla -0, opening in theaters November 6th. They released a new teaser. It's short. So we're going to show it, but I wanted you to see the poster. I have a theory about it, so I'm going to show my tweet before we show the actual trailer. I'm very curious if Monster Zero will be included in Godzilla -0. So if you know anything about Godzilla and Toho monster movie lore, Monster Zero was King Ghidorah, who was on Planet X, and the citizens of Planet X, the leader there, asked if they could borrow Godzilla and Rodan to drive Monster Zero away from their planet. And so my theory is we may see King Ghidorah in this film, because I'll tell you why. I was witness to an interview, which is actually on our channel. If you go to members only, there's an interview with the director. He did a screening at the American Cinematheque. He talked about his favorite other monster in the Toho monster universe. He said King Ghidorah. He'd like to see King Ghidorah. So based on what I know, based on the theory, that's what I'm saying. So let's take a look at now this new teaser trailer that just hit. Again, it's only 30 seconds. Let's go.
ゴジラは核攻撃にも耐えるそうですな。
それは人間のやっていいことの範疇を超えてる。あんた自分が一体何してるのか分かってんのかよ。
Well, we know he comes to America, from what we saw before. He makes it to America. In the last teaser, we saw him pass the Statue of Liberty. I think they're going to make it, do we use the bomb on Godzilla? Do we actually bomb, create more havoc on the planet? There'll be some moral, ethical concerns. Interesting that it's only 2 years after the events of Godzilla -1. So I feel like they have a plan and they're using the same characters.
Yeah. I mean, when did the last movie come out?
Well,
2 years ago.
23? Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this. What do you think, Alan?
I'm interested, but this idea of King Ghidorah, honestly, I just want another Godzilla movie. I think it's too soon to keep bringing or to start bringing in other monsters. Let's get to know the character for at least one more film, and then let's expand the world. I don't know why we're in a rush to get to the connected universe right off the bat.
Well, I would like to see it. I would like to see.
I know you would. Maybe in 3, but I want a good Godzilla movie. And the other question is, are the Americans the bad guys in this movie?
Well, I mean, they could be.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'd like to see some complication from another, even maybe teasing that there are other monsters out there, other kaiju or titans, as they're called sometimes. We'll see. It's again, mine is a theory. I have no knowledge, no info.
Yeah. My feeling is the Americans, they cut off the Straits of Japan without the approval of any other country in the world.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Alan. Hey, Avengers Doomsday is fast approaching. We will get, I am told, we're going to see finally a public trailer, full trailer in which we will see Dr. Doom. But we now have a first look at the throne for Dr. Doom. Here it is. That's what it looks like. My feeling is, again, this is just a guess, the throne, we're going to see that throne at Comic-Con in San Diego.
Or a D23 in Anaheim.
Or both. Are we excited? I feel like with the Dune Part 3 trailer dropping earlier this week, which I'm still conflicted about, knowing how much they have changed the book. Now we're not getting an adaptation. We're taking ideas from Messiah and Children of Dune, and we're making something new.
Right.
Chani is the skeptic, not the ride or die loyal to Paul. And now I'm starting to feel a little misgivings about that trailer. I like that trailer less. It looks epic, but they changed much of the story. With Doomsday, I feel like there's not momentum going into this because, we got so much momentum building with Thanos over so many films and teases and Infinity Stones. And when it got to,
Infinity War and
Endgame,
yeah. We were excited. It had a built-in audience going in.
A built-in audience and a build-up. And what Marvel has been the last several years with movies underperforming, lack of interest, television, the series on Disney Plus have diluted the brand immensely. There just I don't feel the hype. And we saw those 4 trailers drop. Yeah, the Wakanda one, the Steve Rogers one, the Thor one, and what was the other one? Whatever. They had 4 trailers. What?
Oh, the X-Men, wasn't it?
The X-Men. Yeah, that's right. So those 4 short teasers dropped that all kind of connected. And I remember seeing it in the theater and nobody clapped. Nobody said, but I've seen people clap at the end of the Dune trailer. Now that while there may be more momentum or hype for Dune, money is a different story. Leaking this stuff out, they're going to have to wow Hall H. They're going to have to wow Hall H. And in a side note, DC will have very little presence at Comic-Con in San Diego. They're not really doing a big DC universe panel.
I don't remember them. No, last year they did. I think
last year they did. I was there. I was in the room. Check out members only videos, or you can find stuff on the web. And God, I remember the moment when, when John Cena was there, he kind of gave James Gunn some shit.
Yeah.
And then when
you were at the Peacemaker panel.
Yeah. And they talked about, yay, Superman. And you heard like tepid applause. Yeah. And John Cena called out the tepid applause. That it wasn't like this uproarious, like, yay. But what do you think? They're teasing this. I'm sure it's a behind the scenes.
No, this is a display at Shanghai Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
So you could see there's a countdown clock on the upper right hand corner there.
Yeah.
So apparently this will be at Shanghai Disney. I don't know. There'll probably be another one at D23.
Yeah, I assume this display will also make it to Comic-Con in San Diego, because the Marvel booth, like last year, they did have the Fantastic Four. Like they had the costumes all encased in glass. I don't like those FF costumes, by the way. They look cheap. But what do you think of this, Alan?
What I think of this, again, you mentioned it, no buildup, not at all. And then also, you talked about Dune and changing things. Hell, change all you want from the latest Secret Wars. I hated it then. Make it better. I don't think you can. This is just, the since Endgame, just a poorly run universe, and they're paying the price for it. The only reason you should get excited about it, and this is going to be a theme for a lot of studios, is just trust me, bro, it'll be great. Yeah, we have nothing to show you, nothing to tell you. We've done nothing to get you excited about. Just trust us. Doomsday will be the greatest movie ever made.
We shall see. The Odyssey is coming up, and we have a whole host of stories. Let's get into it. Chris Nolan on choosing Travis Scott as the Baird in the Odyssey, basically the sort of musical narrator. Here he is. He's been doing a lot of interviews lately, and he's asked about this. It's the casting has been very controversial. He's going to be defending this during all the press. Let's hear what he has to say. I'm really curious if they'll have a U.S. premiere. They had one in London. I wonder if their whole premiere tour is over. We shall see. But here's what he has to say about that.
I didn't even get to ask you about Travis Scott, but for the next interview, really cool to see him in this film.
Yeah, very cool. Well, to me, the idea of oral formulaic poetry, that feeling to most academics for the last 100 years or so, that's the basis on which these things were handed down. It's such an important part of the film, as
it's the first line.
Seen it. So I'd worked with Travis before, and it felt very apt to have a rapper, playing the Baird in that way.
I didn't even get to ask you about Travis Scott, but
yeah, okay. What do you think of that, Alan?
Is he going to rap?
And I did. So he's worked with Travis Scott before. When?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyways, what do you think? And it's the first line in the movie, Travis Scott. So there's I don't know if that's considered a spoiler, whatever. First line. That's who we hear from. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, is he going to rap or is he just going to be a bard? I think that's the question people have been commenting on is, is rap going to be really authentic to the period, which it's not. Maybe he's just playing it straight. Who knows? We'll see. It's just one of those, I don't care. Just put the movie out.
No, I do care. But let me tell you why. Is this going to take us out of the movie? Yeah. That's the thing. Will it take us out of the movie? And there are certain shows when I see like Bridgerton, and I've watched some, those sort of Victorian period dramas, they're kind of fun. And when I mean I've watched them, I've been forced to watch them, things like Downton Abbey and whatnot. But is it going to take you out of the movie? Is the casting going to take you out of the movie? Is the modernity of the film going to take you out of the story? Is the lack of the music, let's talk about the accents. Chris Nolan and Tom Holland on using modern language in the Odyssey. I have a clip, but what were you going to say? Sorry.
I was going to say, now that it slipped my mind. Oh yeah. Look, if I was making the Odyssey, and knowing that there's not a lot of Odyssey movies out there, I think my first shot would have been to make the definitive version of the Odyssey. That in
go classic.
Yeah, go classic. Tell the story. Make it. Make everyone live up to yours. And we're just not getting that sense. And in fact, someone could come in afterwards and really tell the story of the Odyssey. The other thing is, they worked together on Tenet. He did a track.
Oh, okay.
And there's an original rap song for the film done by him and Ludwig Göransson. So
will that be over credits? I assume at the end.
Probably.
Will it be nominated?
Yeah.
Or maybe
it'll be the Broadway opener that Homer had imagined when he wrote Odyssey.
Well, the American accents is something that has bothered me because I know this is like a wild thing, and you and I are gonna give our out of the theater thoughts next week. But look, I always associate like films like that set in the Roman era. You've got people having British accents. I don't know why. It's not, and also, by the way, that's not historically accurate. They were speaking Latin, or maybe they should be speaking Italian, but it's something we've gotten used to over the course of, so many epic films set in ancient times. People tend to use British accents. It's become a trope of Hollywood. It's not reality, but it's a sort of movie reality.
It's a decades long trope, by the way.
Right. So it's since the beginning of cinema. But here's where he talks about the modern language. People have criticized the use of the term daddy and dad, my dad, rather than father, a bit more formal. Let's hear what he has to say on this.
The language as well is very modern. It's a very contemporary, easy to access way of speaking. I mean, you say dad rather than father.
Sure.
I mean, what's the thinking behind that?
Because I wouldn't have even said father back in the day, would I? I would have been in Greek, so it's no less correct.
People bring, when you look at this world, when you look at the ancient world, people tend to view it in weird ways. There's a lot of cultural prejudice. There's a lot of, they're sort of elevating it because it's old, whatever it is. When you go to the poem, what you find is something that's really earthy and grounded and accessible. And so for me, in building the world of the film, what I talk to all the actors about is like, I want to center it on that and make it feel very fresh for modern audiences and do away with some of those assumptions that aren't based on anything logical. They're just, as I say, cultural prejudices or things over time. There's a lot of stylistically, aesthetically, people tend to look back to the Romantic era and art. A lot of paintings where, people aren't wearing very much. They got a little bed sheet wrapped around them or whatever it is. A lot of classical architecture, even though that wasn't the architecture of the Mycenaean period and things like that. So We went back to what's in the archaeology. What does that tell us? And what gaps does that leave? What do we know about Homer's time? How were things portrayed in the earliest possible portrayals of that? And looking at how do you create a consistent and accessible world around that feels vital and credible and exciting to be in.
What are your thoughts, Alan, on what he had to say? I mean, he's just trying to say, he has a point, but I think it's going to turn some people off based on how we've been conditioned to see epics of this type and conditioned by previous Hollywood work. So does it work? I mean, I've heard something that I find is very telling. People say the movie is better on second viewing. So my theory is this: on first viewing, people are kind of
they're disorientated.
Yeah. That's how I felt on Oppenheimer too.
Mm-hmm.
And on repeat viewings of Oppenheimer and even other films like Tenet, I tend to like the movie better.
You're more relaxed going in.
More relaxed going in. First time kind of white knuckle. Like, what am I gonna? Is
this right? Is he doing this right?
Is Chris Nolan being confusing? Is he time shifting like he does in all his movies? Completely unnecessary way to tell stories. It does that all the time. That's part of the story of the Odyssey. But so are we gonna see it the first time? Then you see it the second time. Here's what I'll say. I'm going to predict. I'm going to see it a second time, which I'm seeing it twice next week. It's going to bother the things that bother me on first viewing will bother me less on the second. And I suspect that other people who've made a similar comment will think that also. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Grounded and accessible. The idea. Okay. So, people know I have a seminary degree. And, so I've studied the Bible, the Hebrew, the Greek, stuff like that. And, and you really, the way you should be doing this as the definitive version of the Odyssey is to go back to the original text. And look, if in the original Homer, the words used for father, and they use words for dad, okay. But I don't know that that's true. I don't know that I don't know anything about the Odyssey and Homer, but I do know about how you translate ancient texts into English, and you're going for the actual meanings. Like when you do study the Bible, it's not our dad who is in heaven, it's our father. There are words that designate that this is a respectful father. I just don't, you're asking me to believe that the Odyssey is written at a street level of Greek culture at that time. I mean, is that true?
Well, I think what he's trying to do is justify dumbing it down.
Justify choices.
He's justifying dumbing it down and making it accessible, as opposed to say if a Robert Eggers did this, he'd probably have it all done in Latin.
The problem is the idea that you dumb it down means that you believe your audience is dumb. Because they're not going to understand the highfalutin language of ancient texts. No, give people more credit than that, especially when you're adapting an ancient text like this. That phrase, I know you said it and he didn't say it, but that's the sense you get is that Nolan doesn't believe that you can figure it out and that you're a moron, and we need to hold your hand while walking you through the Odyssey. And so they need to stop doing press. Just show the movie. And then someone out there, someone who knows how to make movies, make the definitive Odyssey after this, please.
My pick would have been Robert Eggers.
I don't know. I understand why you
did you get your confirmation for Monday?
Yes, I did.
Great. I'll see you there.
I'll see you there. I got my parking pass.
Christopher Nolan on Matt Damon's tattoo. Speaking about modern, check this out. And this is a huge,
please stop doing press.
This is no. This is really a good. I like this.
Okay.
So a friend of mine who works in the industry, he's a below the line guy, has his number one piece of advice. James says this to everybody, to actors: don't get tattoos. It creates problems. It will help you not get cast in a movie. And it's an ongoing problem for filmmakers to cover up to actors' tattoos. Big actors, by the way.
Yeah. I should mention The Rock in Moana.
Well, he wore a skin suit. We'll get to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what he has to say about tattoos on specifically Matt Damon.
Yeah, he's exactly the right place in his time of life and everything to do it. And I actually had a moment with him at his first wardrobe fitting, because we'd been fitting all of the supporting cast, all the guys who play his crew and some younger actors and everything, and they all come in and they've all got tattoos, which is a nightmare for a period film. It means hours and shakers. You have to cover all that up, and then put the costume on, and then rain and wind, and costume will rub it away. And I thought, okay, well, here's Matt. He takes his shirt off the fitting, and he's got a fucking tattoo, and I was like, not you as well, like what? And it was, a very small, tasteful tattoo, name of his children and all that, and he said to me, well, if I were to be perfectly honest, I thought my bare bicep days were over. I said, okay, fair enough. The truth is, I think they're just beginning, but, so yeah, a little extra time in the chair. Yeah, he's exactly the right place.
And by the way, I will reveal now to you, Alan,
your tattoo.
I do not have any tattoos. I have 0 tattoos, and I could never really kind of figure out if I wanted a tattoo, what to get. I thought about getting on right here, my shoulder, kind of going down, a Darth Vader tattoo at one point in the 90s. I was like, should I get a tattoo? I'm not going to get a tribal tattoo or some phrase. I'm just going to get Darth Vader. And I didn't go through with it. I could never decide on a tattoo to get. I'm not against them. I just don't have them. And I have seen so many bad tattoos in my life, dumb phrases, or this meant something at the time. Now I got to erase it. I just thought, you know what? After seeing friends' experiences with tattoos, I never got one. I am tattoo free. I think not having a tattoo is the new tattoo. Now, I have seen some what I think are exceptional tattoos, really amazing ones, but those, unfortunately, I think are rare. Do you have any tattoos?
And they're not actors. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you half naked. We've shared a hotel room.
Yeah.
I never saw a tattoo. Did I miss something?
Well, maybe next time when we're fully naked. No, I'm not. Again, no shade against people with tattoos, but it's just not my thing. I can't think of anything I would want to put on my body that I would be proud of and feel cool. But that's my choice. That's me personally. And I just oh yeah, I have a friend who does tattoos, who likes tattoos, and the way he described it, getting tattoos is like a drug addiction. Once you get the first one, you got to get the second one, and you got to keep going, and it's hard to stop. And then again, they're so in the pure sense, they're permanent. So you're stuck with whatever you do, and I'm just not that type of person to say, yeah, this is what I want on my body for the rest of my life. And knowing how my body has fluctuated over the years, even more so.
Yeah, your tattoo might change.
Yeah. Might turn gay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Was Christopher Nolan taken aback by the Odyssey backlash? She's finally been asked about it. This is an article from the Telegraph. I know we have notes, Alan.
Yes.
If you bring those up, for some reason images are not loading on this story, but here it is. You have the notes. You have the notes.
All right. Christopher Nolan is brushing aside the online backlash surrounding the Odyssey, saying the controversy is simply part of adapting one of history's most beloved stories. Months before its release, the film became the latest target of an online culture war, with YouTubers and social media commentators criticizing its casting choices and creative decisions before seeing the finished film. Nolan doesn't appear concerned by the criticism. Comes with the territory, he said with a smile. He argued that the pre-release debate is ultimately meaningless because audiences are judging the film they actually haven't seen. These conversations that happen before people see the film, they're always irrelevant because no one having them knows what the film actually is yet. Rather than trying to win over online critics and YouTube commentators, Nolan said his only goal is to create the strongest adaptation possible while staying true to Homer's epic. You can't worry about any of that at all. What you have to do is honor the original text by interpreting it in the strongest way you can personally can.
Well, what do you think? And I love.
Yeah, we just talked about it. That's what I think.
We kind of did. But Chris Nolan, if I owned a smartphone, I'd be horribly addicted. He doesn't own a smartphone. And I remember one time, this is early when smartphones kind of were taking over. And Schwarzenegger said, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, the Terminator, beloved actor, Conan, Predator, governor of, once governor of California. Schwarzenegger said of cell phones, I don't want to be at someone else's beck and call. I'll call someone I'll get back to someone when I'm available to have a phone call. He saw a cell phone as being slave to that. Like people can reach you anytime they want. And he didn't like it. I think Chris Nolan, the way he's able to be so productive and so prolific as a filmmaker is focus. He leaves. Now I'm certain someone has a phone that is an assistant to get to Nolan, but that assistant is a screener for everyone. It's probably his wife, his producer, Emma Thomas. So, and she screens all that for him. Yeah. It's cell phones are, they solve a lot of problems. They create a lot of convenience, but I think in the end, it's a double-edged sword, and he's good on him for not owning a smartphone and being a slave to others. And then even like looking at what people are saying about him in the Odyssey. So yeah, I mean, he's got to be it's bubbled up beyond the internet, beyond X, beyond YouTube videos into articles being written about the Odyssey. This is going to affect it in some way. We're really going to see. I mean, I really, and a lot of what he's saying, I don't think he even knows when he says he's making it for a modern audience. He doesn't know that that's kind of triggering to some people. We don't want modern stuff. We don't want modern audience. And when he says modern audiences, you know what he means? He means younger people, which as younger people read fewer and fewer books. I mean, I guess trying to appeal to a younger audience, maybe as a way to get them interest in actually reading the book, although which version you're going to read, we're going to see if it actually works. Alan, what do you think about what he had to say?
Okay, so I've not seen the movie, but based on what I've seen so far, clearly Christopher Nolan is out of touch with the audience.
Yes.
Not a commentary on the film itself, but with the things he says, the things he does, the word that's getting out, it is not connecting or resonating with the audience in any way that's positive. And that's a huge problem. And maybe if he had a cell phone, he'd be better at it than that. Let's make the assumption that this is the definitive version. Well, he's not selling it right. Absolutely not. He's actually turning people off to the movie because he doesn't understand that audience. At the same time, let's just say it's a really bad movie, and he is out of touch with the audience. Well, good. You're saving a lot of people a lot of money. So congrats on that one.
James Gunn has found his gorilla Grodd. Did you even know this was happening?
Yes. I, in fact, stumbled upon his thread saying that he's in the middle of he just started shooting it, I should say, the Jimmy Olsen series.
There's a Jimmy Olsen series that's coming. I think Jimmy Olsen was one of the highlights of the Superman movie.
Yep.
He was very fun. But it looks like they're circling Jimmy Tatro.
Yeah.
As a major role in the Jimmy Olsen Superman spin-off series. He will be playing, it looks like he's going to be playing Gorilla Grodd. Does he have a gorilla look to him?
He doesn't need one. It's that voice of his.
I don't know if we need notes for this story.
I have it.
Okay, give us what the notes are on this.
All right. So Jimmy Tatro is reportedly in talks to play Gorilla Grodd in HBO Max's upcoming live-action DC crime series, according to Deadline. The project has not yet officially been greenlit, but both HBO Max and DC Studios declined to comment. The series is described as a true crime-style mockumentary hosted by Jimmy Olsen. The first season is expected to focus on Gorilla Grodd, the hyper-intelligent telepathic ape and longtime enemy of the Flash, exploring his crimes as though they are part of a real documentary. The series comes from the creators of Netflix American Vandal, suggesting a comedic, satirical take on the DC universe. They will serve as writers, showrunners, and executive producers alongside James Gunn and crew.
What do you think? And are we ever, I mean, I know that, like, are we going to see anything beyond this? And what's weird, you
got to stop starting these conversations of, what do you think?
By the way, is Gorilla Grodd spelled correctly? I think it's Grodd, Grodd.
Yes, that's what I have in the notes.
Yes, it's DD.
Yes,
I know, Mike. It's Gorilla Grodd. Let's check our spelling on these things.
Oh.
But like, I mean, we don't have Batman in the DCU. I mean, can't James Gunn I'm just doing Batman. Matt Reeves is doing a alternate universe Batman. We're going to do our Batman, which is going to be different, which is fine. Matt Reeves is doing Batman early in his career. We're going to have a Batman that's later in his career with Damian Wayne. It's you know, like, oh God. His focus is on all of these side obscure characters that are fine for the comics. And did you know that Mr. Terrific series is in development? They're doing a pilot. Someone has been hired to write a pilot for Mr. Terrific. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Are you excited?
No.
But I mean, look, I know that his contract has not been extended much beyond the release of Man of Tomorrow. I think the complete failure of Supergirl, and after, you know, saying we don't greenlight a movie till we have a great script, which kind of a diss to Marvel, who starts making movies with no scripts.
And they still
with the script not locked anyway.
And they still do, yes.
Yes, they do this. What are your I mean,
yeah, let me tell you. So, you know, I'll go back to why I like Superman. The main reason I like Superman was because Clark and Lois were the only normal people, the normal good people in this weird DC universe. You know, they were kind of a bright spot because, you know, you could take Clark seriously. You could take Superman seriously, that he was a good guy and he wanted to do great things. And everyone else, it can be batshit crazy. And the problem with that is you're building this entire universe, and only two characters in that universe are normal, are good, and characters you can relate to, and everything else is crazy. And this is just another example of that. The overall point is that DC, outside of Superman and Lois, is just, it can never take itself seriously. You know, it always has to be injected with some kind of comedy, some kind of dark tone to it. Some kind of you can never feel like you're being told anything serious, anything authentic, and this just reinforces all that. Look, I like Jimmy Tatro, but again, he's more comedic than he is dramatic, and we're gonna see just this crazy, weird Jimmy Olsen series, as opposed to possibly turning Jimmy Olsen into a normal person like Clark and Lois, and just not. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking forward to anything outside of Superman and Lois at all in this DC universe.
Yeah, I think it remains to be seen. I really think you got to bring in Batman, Wonder Woman, the known.
You mean the wacky and crazy Batman and Wonder Woman?
I mean, we'll see. I think the problem people have with James Gunn is the tone of everything he does is the same.
Right.
And with Craig Gillespie, I don't think he allowed him to make his movie. It seemed like he micromanaged aspects of the making of Supergirl, and people are there's a lack of enthusiasm. Let's just say that.
Well, let me go back to Marvel. The reason Guardians of the Galaxy worked in the Marvel universe was, James Gunn basically told space stories, outside of Earth's atmosphere. And so you can make space and the universe weird and wacky as it is in Guardians of the Galaxy. And what made that work was the fact that on Earth, the stories were deadly serious. Sure, there were light moments, but Captain America's story, serious. Black Panther, serious. Iron Man, serious, with levels of comedy in it. And so you could have that contrast. And the problem with post Endgame is that they brought the wackiness of the universe on Earth, and now you can't take what was happening on Earth seriously. And that's where the Marvel universe suffered as a result of, post Endgame.
There you go. Did we lose Alan? There you go. You're back.
What?
It's all good.
It was nothing I said heard. Okay.
One last story, then we're going to get to your comments about news, and then we'll get to reviews, and then we have an interview. Show's going to go long today, folks. I hope you don't mind. A little longer today, but we're going to have fun together. Anthony Mackie calls out Collider reviewer Stephen Weintraub for glazing Man of Steel. A lot of people have tried to criticize Steve here, seen in a very unflattering still. But this is from an interview from a while, and it resurfaced. I like Anthony Mackie a lot. I think he's just giving him shit. I think he's just goofing on him a little bit. Let's take a look at this clip.
I was going to say Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel.
You're a banana.
No, I love Man of Steel.
You're a banana.
I fucking love the movie.
You should just email everybody you know and ask them what they thought about the movie.
Oh, I know a lot of people don't care for it. But I know that. But Hans Zimmer's score, the opening 20 minutes is fucking amazing on Krypton.
But there's another 3 hours of movie
I will defend that movie forever.
So you're saying it should have been a short?
I'm saying to you that I could watch that movie on loop. I love it so much.
Wow.
I love it.
That scares me.
Right, I understand.
You are reviewing movies.
Right, I don't review movies anymore.
Oh, good. Oh, good save. Good save. All right.
By the way, I mean, I love the Marvel Universe and Civil War. I can't wait for it.
No. Don't say it's good. Don't, because that means if you say it's good, that means it's awful. You have all the
I love Man of Steel.
Hey, you know what? And you know what? First of all, I like Man of Steel, and in light of Gunn's universe, DC universe, Man of Steel's better. I watched it like last weekend, and it really it's aged well. I don't think Superman by Gunn 2025 is going to age well, and I'm good on Steve for sticking to his guns there. And by the way, Anthony Mackie, I have interviewed him before. He loves to give people shit, so I think it's a funny clip. Have a sense of humor. I don't think it's a big deal.
What I like about that is that's how we talk.
Yeah.
That's how normal people have a conversation about movies.
Yes.
There's no promotional hype behind it. There's no don't say this, don't say that. It's just two guys with opposing viewpoints busting each other's balls, one to the other. But just being honest, and good on Steve for standing up for his wrong opinion. and no, there's only one instance in which sequels were done so badly and made the prequels better, and that was Star Wars. I think the sequels made the prequels better than they actually were. I cannot say the same thing about Zack Snyder. Yeah, Justice League.
James Gunn's Superman did Zack Snyder a favor because it made Man of Steel.
I think
it's
a
lot
still
better.
A bad movie. Still a bad movie.
I disagree.
That's fine. You can be wrong.
Let's go to your comments, starting at the top with Soups, and we'll
Lord
get to
comment for 2.
The Moana review you are waiting for. It's coming, folks.
Yeah.
After these comments.
Yeah. Hold on to your hula skirts, folks. Lord comment for 2. Been with you 14-ish years, Chris Gore, going the distance.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Has it been 14 years?
14 years. Sweet.
Yeah. All I know, it was the first episode of Attack of the Show. That's how I knew you.
Yeah, okay.
Groovy Lava Squirrel Medic for 5. Evil Dead Burn. Okay, yeah, skip.
Save it.
Save it. Don't unstart. Keep it. Super Fanda Man for 249. Can you guys give us a yay or nay for Odyssey?
Monday we're seeing it, and we'll do an out of the theater. It'll be late that night, probably around 10:30, 11 Pacific time. We will have an out of the theater short review. We'll have a review on next Wednesday. We'll do full review.
Okay, Super Fandom Man 249. Why are you guys and Gary not going to Comic-Con? What?
No, I'm going to Comic-Con.
I'm going to Comic-Con.
Alan's going to Comic-Con, but Gary, I'm going. I'm not going. I don't know. I was going to go, but I thought I'd be on it. Gary, go.
Doesn't he have a mother to visit?
Just go. Gary's being. By the way, I have to talk to Gary after the show. I'm sure it's about Comic-Con. I'll get you a badge, Gary. Jesus.
Yeah, but you can't get him a press badge.
Dante.
Hey. Yeah, Verbal Riot Show Dante for 5. What's up, lads? The Odyssey is gonna flop, and it's not the gummies talking.
Oh no. I think it'll have a great opening weekend. I do think it's going to underperform and disappoint. It's not gonna flop. But thank you, Dante. Miss you, man, on Versus. We miss you.
Let's just say it'll be great, but it could be greater.
Yeah.
You're a barmy. For 2. Shameless. Nolan needs Holland to protect him. Macron Lady for 199. Worldwide box office for the Odyssey will be very low. Relatively speaking.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, match it to Oppenheimer. We'll see how it goes. Robo for 20. Slight tangent here, but regarding the latest Dune 3 trailer, do you think that confirms the appearance of Edric? Given the larger screen time, that height has it would be odd to then put emphasis on the coffin. If it's not a mystery box, I have no clue what this is.
The coffin has, I believe, has a guild navigator in it. Is it Edric? We'll see. I know this because I did some investigation that's super nerdy, and they released, see if I can find it. They released wallpapers. This is really weird. They released wallpapers for iPhone, and let me share a screen here to put this mystery to rest. We should tell, and I even sent this to Elaine, Nerd Cookies. Check this out. I'm going to share a screen now. I just found it.
I'm going to drop the comment so you can.
Yeah, so you can share a screen. You got to look really close. I'll zoom in. There are a list. So if you signed up for the Dune Insider, you got this thing that takes you to a bunch of folders, and there's a folder that says, you see what it says? Spacing Guild Navigator Sarcophagus. You click on it, and it's that sarcophagus that we saw. So who's in it? Who can say? So there you go. Maybe hopefully that answers your question. Sign up for the Dune Insider. You can find it with if you look at the Dune social media. But thank you for that. It was very generous. Thank you.
All right, Moon Knight for 5. When it comes to the Odyssey, Nolan cooked up a story and put it in the meat grinder. What happened, Nolan? He used to be someone we could trust.
True. I have a theory about that. Do you want to know my theory?
What is your theory?
This is not a Chris Nolan movie. It's his wife, Emma Thomas's first film. I have a suspicion she brought this particular piece of material, that particular book, to Nolan is like, hey, what do you think about doing the Odyssey and basing it on this? Sorry, my air conditioning's. That's my theory. It's Emma Thomas's first film, not Nolan's more recent film. And she brought that version of the book to him to make. I have theories as to why.
Lord Connor for 2. Gunn is a chump who found his chimp.
Well, there you are. Thank you for
Very
that.
well put. Marcos Gomez for 5. Gunn should do a series of the Legion of Doom, but put in the style of The Office.
That could be fun.
Yeah, no, it won't be. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. Looks like Christy Mayer is upset. She got the boot from F&T after she lied and attacked audiences. She became Frosk.
I am gonna stay out of it. We're not drama farmers here. I follow Chrissy. I think there was a parting of the ways. Maybe it had more to do with the drama. I don't know, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
it's more about the situation than it was.
I haven't watched her lately, but I still follow her. I subbed to her channel. There you go. So, but thank you for the generous super chat. A few more comments here. We'll move on.
D. Goodhart, I get Alan's take on Superman, but I still disagree with it. Superman, even if the rest of the world is batshit crazy, wouldn't be treated as disrespectfully as he is through the film. But again, the ways portrayed in the other films are through the lens of that character who sees Superman basically as a Boy Scout, but I get what you're saying. They're not treating him right, and that's how the world who is jealous of his goodness will treat him.
I don't think he's Superman. I agree with Badger. He is Clark Kent wearing a Superman suit. He's like a sort of stumbling, bumbling Superman.
Andy Likes Stuff channel. Doomsday, also known as throw all the toys on the floor and play with Zero Story.
Yeah. And Verbal says, what's up, boys? I want the crossover Joe versus Godzilla. I hope you like that Joe trailer. It looks like if they spent that much time on the makeup and all those scenes, I'll bet it's a real movie.
No, I think it's a TV show and it's a parody trailer.
All right. We'll see. Thanks.
Yeah. One Punch fan, $3 for Alan's new car fund. Yeah, I just got my settlement papers. So
and then Alan's also One Punch fan. Alan say hashtag save Stargate. And Chris, Alan, get a film threat. Alan, get a film threat tattoo.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to?
It's like, it's like putting the name of the name of your wife on your body. Because as much as you love them now.
Oh, sorry, Alan. Sorry. Go ahead.
What is it? Oh, yeah. Just because you love them now, it doesn't, it's just these are odds you're playing with that are very scary. I'd do my children more than I would my spouse.
Sorry about that, Alan.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I know. We like looking at you, Chris.
Exactly. All right. It's time for reviews, Alan. Are you ready? Let's start with Moana. We got Moana, Gail, Daughtry, and the Celebrity Sex Past, Evil Dead Burn, The Invites, Maddie's Secret. Let's go. Alan, you are the biggest Disney fan I know. Tell me about Moana. And does it... okay, I haven't seen the original Moana cartoon, which honestly I thought was a mid cartoon with like two good songs. It was a mid cartoon. It was fine. It's not even that old. And last year,
10 years old. This is the 10th anniversary of the original Moana.
Yeah, and we just saw last year Moana 2 animated, and we were both underwhelmed. Moana live action is here on the tail of, I think there is a fatigue of Disney live action remakes of classic cartoons. How does this deviate from the original animation? And tell me your thoughts.
Yeah. It doesn't. It tells the exact same story. It starts the way the movie does. The middle is exactly like the original movie, and it ends just like the original movie. Essentially, long ago, Maui had stole the heart of Te Fiti, causing ultimate death and destruction across the Pacific Islands. And Moana has to go out, find Maui, give him the courage to return the stone back to her, to return the stone, which is the heart of Te Fiti, back to Te Fiti, and restore the world the way it is. And guess what? That was the cartoon, and this is the movie. You've seen it before, 100% from start to finish. It's the same retelling of the same story. Nothing new except some princess jokes.
It is effectively an animated film, and
with live action people.
With live action people in it. It's like there was I remember really loving as a kid the movie Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I mean, it is a live action movie, but there's sequences where they go into animation where they impose the live action actors interacting with cartoon characters. That's this whole movie. I mean, the live action scenes seem very fake, all shot on a soundstage. And when Moana has an interaction with this chicken that goes on the journey with her, and you can what's that?
Hey, that's the name of the chicken.
Hey is the name. Okay, I don't care. It has a name for it looks so
look. Hey sold most merchandise from Moana than any other character.
More than Moana.
Yeah.
Or Maui. But when she grabs the chicken, she's hitting it or interacting with it. It seems so fake. It does not look like she's interacting with a real, because they really do a cartoony version of the 3D chicken. It looks bad.
Yeah.
Then there's a pig, and that looks weird. I mean, it was like, and the movie is overly long. It's almost 2 hours. My God. I'm gonna repeat what you said. I couldn't wait for it to be over.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. It was like and the audience, did they even interact or clap at the end?
No.
But
no,
I did.
I've never heard a more quiet audience than this movie.
Yeah. And these were the Disney faithful we saw it with. Very underwhelming. The Rock's performance is, look, he's not going to be an Oscar winning actor. He's an actor fun. He pushes the fun, but he seems low energy.
Yeah.
And you know what's really distracting? The muscle suit he wears. I mean, he's already got a lot of muscle, but Maui is kind of an overly exaggerated.
Yeah.
The way he has these fake muscles, which is covered by a necklace. You can kind of see.
Yeah, that's the costume line.
He's wearing the necklace. He's got the fake muscle suit with the tattoos on it, and the little tattoo guy he interacts with. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, you know, I was like, after seeing Smashing Machine, I'm going, is it possible that he just took the Mark Kerr body and used it for Maui? And he didn't. Because I think that Mark Kerr body would have been perfect for Maui in this movie. And the other thing, you say it's an anime feature. Yeah, how much of this movie do you think actually took place on an actual beach?
Not much.
Not much. Everything looks like
maybe zero.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't all done on the volume or on some giant green screen. And you're right. The energy is the biggest problem of this movie. The energy is just ramped down. There's a reason people like animated features, because there is energy injected to it. You have to go a little bit over the top in order to make these drawings and these pictures come to life. And they just refuse to translate that to here. I'll give you the perfect reason why. When you make an animated feature and you have a single line, the actors will probably say that line dozens, if not hundreds of times. And they'll take the perfect take of those 100 samples that they got. And they'll throw it in the movie, and it'd be great because it's like you got the perfect take. In this one, you can't do that. You got to get the line with however the line is. The girl who plays Moana just as equally low energy as Maui is. And the jokes, the reason it works horribly here is because when you go low energy and you tell the jokes, the exact same jokes from the movie, the cartoon, it doesn't resonate.
Yes.
The jokes does not come across, and it comes off flat.
Yes, the jokes from the cartoon are repeated, and they just land with a thud.
No reaction like the first one. And I'll say this: I'm very mid when it comes to the animated feature. Like you say, there are 2 good songs in it, and I can't remember any of the other songs. And the story basically the same. It's a girl finding who she really is, and that's the exact same thing here. Let me also say this: it's directed by the guy who directed Hamilton, the stage version,
right?
And the problem is he doesn't know how to animate. He doesn't know how to direct a movie, let alone a movie based on an animated feature. The shots he chose during the songs are very lackluster, staged much like a stage play. If you're watching this on stage, probably looks good if you're seeing it live. There's the great song, the Oscar-nominated song, "How Far I'll Go." That song ends on this big note, big voice note, the show-stopping note. And in the movie, it's you're zoomed in on Moana, and she's singing that note. Here, she stands on top of a mountain, sings the note, and you're seeing it in wide shot. I mean, there's just no power. There's the guys from Broadway, there's no Broadway sensibility or feelings that you get from this. And I think the guy who directed this is much more suited to not do a cartoon animation of a live version of a cartoon animation. It's just this movie is boring and it falls flat, much like Beauty and the Beast did. How do you follow up an Oscar-nominated Best Picture of Beauty and the Beast with a mediocre, lackluster live-action version of it? And the same thing happens here.
Well, Alan, I got to ask you, do you recommend the Moana live action?
No, go see the original.
Well, the original is on Disney Plus, or you have the DVD or digital. You can watch Moana, the original cartoon. I don't recommend it at all. And I don't, you don't hear me often like say, well, I hope this movie fails. I don't hope that. I hope Disney learns a lesson. And I hope the failure of this movie, and it looks like it's going to underperform in a, who knows, maybe colossally a way that Snow White did. Disney needs to learn the lesson. Stick to originals, maybe fewer films, more originals, and fewer of these Disney live actions. It's more of a cash grab than those clamshell, Beauty and the Beast 2, Aladdin 2, Lion King 2, Lion King 3. They made these, my kids got them in the 90s. They were impossible to ignore. They had clamshell VHSs at the grocery store, and you bought these. They were all bad.
Right. But why did they make money? Because the budgets were low on those.
Exactly. Well, the budgets on these are high and crazy. Yeah. So I hope that they stop making. I hope the failure of this film means a pivot and fewer or even none of the live action remakes. They're not good.
Yeah.
Disney, please stop.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, they're starting to run out, which is why they had to go to Moana. I guess Tangled is next. What, Bedknobs and Broomsticks? Is that going to be? Well,
I don't think.
No, that is a live action movie. What am I talking about?
Yeah, well, it's not as beloved. That's an older from my childhood.
Oh yeah, guess what? Let's do Robin Hood.
Let's not. Let's go to your comments. And then we've got Rustin Thompson waiting in our green room. After we read these comments, Rustin, we're going to talk to you about your movie.
Yes.
So be patient.
Moana is your opening act here. Lord Comment for 2. Moana is trying to top Supergirl for Fringe. I like this better than Supergirl.
Cringe. Thanks, Lord Comment.
But I did like this.
Hey, thank you for the generous 20, Franklin Sturgill III.
Franklin Sterling III.
Sterling, yeah. Oh my God. Am I being dyslexic?
I think
Did I catch it from you? Why did it say
somehow I caught it.
I'm sorry, Franklin. I'm sorry, Franklin.
90% of people outraged over the Odyssey haven't read any translations of it. Not Wilson's, Fagel's, Lattimore's, or Fitzgerald's. Mostly low effort Twitter and X outrage. Unfortunately, hot takes beat actual reading the book.
Here's what's weird about the book. There's a lot of criticism from members of the cast about Homer and female characters. There's a lot of female characters in the Odyssey. If you read it, there's a lot, and they play a significant role, but they play a female role in the story. So you're right. Yeah, it's we're gonna see. We shall see on Monday. I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about it. But I believe Wednesday the review embargo drops. If not, maybe we should do our show earlier. We should do our Wednesday show on Tuesday. Would the chat like that?
Get it done early.
Well, it depending on the embargo.
Yeah, it depends on my schedule too.
Okay, we'll ask the question at the end of the show.
Yeah.
The stud comic for 5. There needs to be a documentary on how Hollywood tried to fool us that Dwayne Johnson was a star and could replace Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thank you for the 5 stud comic.
Yeah. Honestly,
Appreciate
it's about the material you select, the movies you decide to be in.
All right, Alan, take over.
Press time to start for 2. See y'all at Comic-Con. Where will there be a meetup? No.
Yes,
there will be a meetup.
No, well, there'll be not an official meetup. We're doing an event. Well, sub to the channel also here.
Wait, which one are you doing?
I'm trying to get. We're trying to.
Okay.
Can you just let me share screen here, please? Thank you very much. I know what I'm doing. We'll do that, and then.
Oh my God!
Just let me do my thing here, please. I know.
No, I need you to actually do the thing.
Yeah, it's here, and then we go here. You can. That's what I was trying to do. So you can meet us at the Big Man Comics booth 17005. We will post this on social media, so look for it. So okay, let me take this banner off here. Back to a few more comments, and we'll get to our interview here. Here we go. You have to sing. You have to sing it.
Okay, here we go. One Punch Man Tolkien fan. I still didn't get Alan singing hashtag Save Stargate or Sargate. Go Party Time. I love that dumb rooster. Yeah.
It is dumb.
Again, the most popular character sold from that movie. Apocalypse. Wow. Rock's manager is his ex-wife. LOL. That's right. Yeah, she's a producer on Moana as well. One Punch fan number 3. Since you didn't Alan sing, you have to sing it, Chris. Yeah. Now, Chris, you sing it.
Save Stargate. And that'll be the last time I ever sing on a.
Yeah, your father was a famous barbershop quartet singer, right?
He was.
Yet the gene didn't get passed.
I did not. Everyone in my family can sing except for me. It's true. So there you go. Hey, we love to interview indie filmmakers here, and Film Threat has been a long supporter of seeing movies in a movie theater. And Rustin Thomas has a new documentary. He's gonna tell us all about it. Let's talk to him right now on the show. Hey, Rustin, thanks for joining us. Good to hear from you.
You're muted or something.
You're muted, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to choose the right microphone.
Yeah, go to audio settings, audio, and then make sure it's the right microphone is selected.
And then I'll try and do that again. Okay. You know what you should do? Leave and come back.
Yeah, drop out of, leave the studio and then come back in the studio.
Close the browser window and then come back. I'm going to read some more.
He's not muted. He's the wrong mic is selected or it's not connected.
Chris has a singing voice as smooth as sandpaper.
I know.
Mr. Lou Cyphers.
Okay.
All right, let's try this again.
Let's make sure it works.
Try this again.
Can you hear me?
Rustin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So we're starting over. Start from 1.
We're going to start from 1. Let's talk to the Last Picture Show's documentary filmmaker, Rustin Thompson, about his movie. He's here in studio. Hey, Rustin.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great. Hey, thanks for joining us on the show. Look at that.
Thanks for having me.
Books, DVDs on your shelves in the background, movie posters. I love it.
You want Satan Tango? I have it.
Oh
I have
my
Satan
God,
Tango
that's
here.
awesome.
Yeah.
Your documentary is so heartfelt. It's so beautiful. It is a window into an era that I miss. And you go across America interviewing theater owners who have small theaters about how they're staying in business when people keep saying movie theaters are dying. Tell us about your documentary, and we're going to share a trailer in a moment with our audience.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually, I go across the American West, not all of America. I had to narrow the scope of the film, so I'd still be shooting if I was going across America.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a documentary. I call it an elegy for small town cinemas of the American West, and I wanted to explore these cinema deserts, these spaces where a small town, it might have the only existing operating theater in a span of 100 to 150 miles. And in between those small towns are all these other small towns that are dotted with theaters that are closed and have been long closed, some for 50 years, some for 30 years. Some have reopened and then closed again. And I wanted to do this movie because I'm a lover of film, but I also grew up in Seattle, went to college at the University of Washington, and I was surrounded by art house cinemas through all of those formative years of watching the great films of the 70s. And they've all disappeared in the last 10 to 15 years. We've lost 7 to 10 art house theaters. And that really struck me. And around the same time, I was looking for another documentary subject I wanted to do. And I wanted to do something that I could make mostly on my own. I wanted to get out in the West and get on the road. I wanted to just be able to stop whenever the urge hit me and film what I wanted to film. And so this subject matter was just perfect for a lot of things that interested me as a filmmaker and also as a lover of film.
Yeah, I mean, when I think back, I would not be the person I am if I did not grow up in Detroit, which had a huge movie-going community. We had the main theater in Royal Oak that played retrospective movies. They played midnight movies. There was the Punch and Judy theater I loved that theater. The Detroit Institute of Arts played. I saw She's Gotta Have It at the DIA. I saw Stranger Than Paradise, at the DIA. And then the Maple Theater showed art films, French films. It was glorious growing up, being in high school. I got my car on the first day of my 16th birthday so I could drive myself to the theater. I became addicted. But these places, these theaters you are talking about are small, privately owned. They're small businesses. And one of the good things I will say about streaming and VOD, if you live in one of those, as you call it, cinema deserts, VOD is at least a way to see some indies. But you said, I mean, this could be a whole series, not just one movie. This could be a doc series.
Yeah, I talked to someone else just a little bit ago who said the same thing. It could be I could do a different theater a week and spend 15 minutes to a half an hour with these theater owners. I just got to say, riff on something you just said, Chris, about your experiences for seeing movies. Because when I got my first car, I'd had my license for about 6 months, but I didn't have a car yet. When I got my first car, a '67 Comet, living in Puyallup, Washington, the first thing I did with that car was drive white knuckle with a stick shift or stick on the column, white knuckle drive to my local art house theater to see The Day of the Locust. And I will never forget that. That was the one thing I wanted a car for, was to be able to drive myself to these great movie theaters and see films. Yeah, my experience at these small town cinemas, there was a sense of sadness about it, some melancholy. There's also some hope, because a lot of these theaters are beholden to the big studios and their release patterns. So they are stuck with whatever the latest superhero movie is, or the latest animated film, and they can't really play art house fare. There are other theaters that are able to do that, or are stretching out a little bit. And instead of playing the opening weekend of, say, the Odyssey, which you guys were talking about, they might wait 3 weeks before they open the Odyssey, and they'll stack it with some art house films that they might stack it with, like Backrooms or Obsession or something like Rose of Nevada. They're trying to work outside of the norm, but a lot of them are kind of stuck in this pattern where they know they are going to get their big audience on the first couple of like a Friday and Saturday in these small towns. And then they might be empty the next 2 weeks, but they've just made enough money to hang on in those first 2 nights of showing the film.
Well, yeah, getting a car was not about getting girls for me. It was all about, I would go see every movie that opened in the theater on the weekend. I arranged my senior year. I had afternoons off. I was out of school by noon, and I went to the movies and I saw everything. Let's take a look at your trailer.
Okay.
Let's take a look at your trailer here for the film, and we'll talk about it on the back end. Here we go.
The challenges for small town theaters are many. We have places where sometimes 50 miles, there is no movie theater at all, what I would refer to as cinema deserts. If you don't create the movie-going experience for children and young adults, they don't develop that habit and they'll never pick it up. You can't miss what you don't know.
It's tough making a living in the movie industry now.
We've lost over $100,000 2 years in a row. This is our 3rd year where we're on that track.
Our greatest challenge today is how we're treated by the studios.
They determine when and how you get the film.
If I could book things the way I want to, I'd make 3 or 4 times as much money.
The film companies are cutting their own throats.
So how come you keep at it?
Because we enjoy doing it, and the community needs it. The community supported me. I support the community.
I grew up coming here as a little kid to this same drive-in. It's one of the few around.
This is our 62nd season.
I started working here in 1998 when I was 16.
My grandfather taught me how to be a projectionist when I was 13.
So I actually had my first kiss in this theater. Movies are now just like data parts streaming in the air. It was real. That's the payoff.
We're at a turning point where film could disappear.
The old motto of the movie house is that you are being treated like royalty, whether you are the mayor or farmer. The movie house was the pride of that town.
Wow, that's amazing.
The one part of that trailer that resonates with me is the fact that it is the studios that are more or less killing the small independent theaters. Their requirements and restrictions are so oppressive that how can you even think of making money like it's like they don't want them to show their films.
Right. And the owners that I talk to who try to question that, they are just told that's the way it is. That's the way we're doing it. Take it or leave it. And a lot of them have to take it because they are business people first, rather than cinephiles. And so they want to stay in business. They figure that's more important than trying to fight the studio mandates.
Yeah. Is it that the reason is that they're forced to show films that are not performing well and they're stuck?
So it's called clean screen, where they make these deals and they have to show film for 2 weeks regardless.
Yeah, regardless of performance.
Yeah, regardless of performance. Now, if they're a multiplex, like there's one multiplex in my film that has 3 screens, and she says if something's not doing well, we can move it to one of our smaller screens, and that's in the town of Baker City, Oregon, which is 10,000 people. It's one of the larger towns I filmed in. So she's able to support those smaller films, but that's the only way it works is because she can move them. She can move them around, but the single screen theaters are stuck.
I mean, you talked about driving to your movie theaters. I lived a mile from my single screen movie theater. And yeah, it's like one movie for 3 weeks. And if you didn't like that movie, you had to wait 3 weeks for the next movie to come.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I grew up in Royal Oak, right next to Berkeley. It was the Berkeley Theater. It was the Dollar Theater, the second run theater. And it was walking distance. And I walked to that theater. I saw so many movies. I mean, I was like 11 years old, just walking to the theater by myself, which I did. And to see a movie for $1 and popcorn was 50 cents. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
So this brings back memories of that.
Yeah, for me, the best thing that ever happened to me as a person who loved movies was my parents getting divorced when I was 7 years old, because I was their only kid, and suddenly they were like, well, what am I going to do with him? So it's like, I'd love to go to a movie, Mom. So I'd go see Bullet on a Saturday with my mom, and then Sunday when my dad would pick me up, we'd go see Catch-22. I saw a lot of stuff when I was probably too young, but it taught me about film. It taught me a lot about the world. It taught me about myself. You mentioned the whole thing about wanting a car to go to movies and not about girls. Yeah, me too. It's like, I was like, girls, I have no idea what I'm doing there, but I can watch a movie. The girls came later, but it really was part of my ability to access the world and understand it, because my parents took me to these things separately. I got to see twice as many movies as probably other kids did.
And it reminds me of these smaller, what I love, the people you talk to over how many different theaters you talked to or you visited?
I visited 123 theaters. Half of those were long gone, more than half. Some were open. The others that were open were not open when I drove through the towns. I spent nights in the cities where I knew they had a gorgeous marquee that was going to be lit up. And so those I would plan to spend an evening to get that shot, because I was often, 100 miles away from the next hotel, whatever. So I talked to, I think it's 13 different owners and managers, and also volunteer. I got the young kid named Maverick, which his name was, his mom gave him that name because she loved Top Gun movies. And he was 14, and he worked at the little theater in Panguitch, Utah, called The Gem. And he was like one of the few employees that I actually talked to.
Well, I think the sort of dying of theaters, a lot of it is everything's too corporate. Everything's too corporate with the corporate chains, and the small theaters like the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California, they have 2 screens, but they sell beer and wine. They have alcohol drinks,
and they show classics, and they show
classics.
films, and
they have themes. They're well curated, where they not only know the audience, they train the audience. So they'll have like a David Lynch film festival. They showed Twin Peaks episodes in the theater. Like, I love the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana is amazing. So seeing these like small time theater owners, it's like you want to support them. And we have a lot of questions for you. We have almost 2,000 people watching live. Let's get
actually, did you want to respond about the Frida? Or?
I did, because my booker has booked the Frida for a night in August. We're going to be in LA. We're going to be showing at the Royal. We're going to be showing at the Royal Cinema, the Greg Lemley Royal. August
great.
20th through the 20th. Oh, is that right? 21st through the 27th. We're booked for a week there, and in between, I'm going to show at the Frida and also up in Ojai, California too.
Well,
Those are one-offs, but the Royal is a week.
Say
You know
hi
what I
to
like
Tra-
about the Frida is the Frida and these smaller theaters. They're what video stores used to be. You know, the place
Yep.
where cinephiles gathered, talk about movies. And the only difference is that, you know, instead of you choosing the film, it's curated for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go to questions here.
Okay.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Wow. I used to live in Kauai and was sad when the only theater on the island closed due to COVID. Yeah, that happened a lot. ADLs, do you think there's... Go ahead.
I was going to say that that's part of the film is how COVID closed a lot of these theaters. But I was surprised about how many of them hung on through COVID because a lot of the theater owners had other jobs or other businesses that kept the income coming, or some of them got grants. So a lot of them hung on through COVID. The ones that closed were the multiplexes, but the single screen theaters were able to survive because they had low overhead.
All right. ADL is 24. Do you think there's a place for single screen theaters still in our culture? Is getting away from showing new releases and being a second run legacy film theater a way to profitability?
I think that's definitely true. I think it's easier to do in cities rather than the small towns. We have a theater half a mile from where I am that I walk to this day. It's called The Beacon. It's new theater. It's been open less than 10 years, and they are single screen, 48 seats, and they are a true repertory house. They program, like a block of films on a certain subject, but they also do one-offs of like classic cinema. They have art house hits. They go way back to Japanese films, and they can survive by diversifying their program. They also do another thing that these theaters can do is they can offer memberships, and that's one way they're surviving. Is you become a member, you get your free popcorn, you get special advance notice of screenings, and that's really helped that theater stay viable. So it is possible. Smaller towns are tougher to do.
All right. Fresh Snow. Miss those old theater marquees. Yeah.
Oh, those were so great. Yeah.
Patrick Lemire, I don't mourn Blockbuster, but I do mourn small theaters.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I was walking last night. I saw Rosa, Nevada with my son, and it was right across the street from where a Blockbuster used to be. And I sort of missed it. I was like, Blockbuster in Hollywood, they were kind of a candy store for me when those came out. And also the smaller theaters too, not theaters, the video rental stores. As you know, in Seattle, we have Scarecrow Video, and that's still going. It's still there.
Wow.
And that has become a nonprofit. That's the only way it stayed in business. But I miss them both. I miss the small theaters, and I miss the video stores.
Absolutely. All right, Tom Siebert. Smallest seat single theater he found, and the large. What's the smallest theater you found, and what's the largest?
The smallest might be the only new one I found, called the Barnyard Cinema in Winthrop, Washington. It's 100 miles from any other theater, and it seats about 79 people.
Wow!
And we just screened there a few days ago. We sold out. The owners are featured in my film. I think that was the smallest. All of the other theaters still have some of them who haven't twinned. Most of them haven't twinned. I think only one or two did. They have a bigger space, probably over 100 seats. The largest I went to, that's an easy one. Anaconda, Montana, the Washoe Theater in Anaconda, Montana. It is on the Smithsonian. I think it's number 5 for historical structures or something like that in the country. It is incredibly beautiful, a little ragged at the edges, but that gives it some character. And I talked to the owner of the place. He's kind of the owner manager. It's owned by a group of people that want to just keep this theater alive. He's been there 35 years. And when I filmed him, he was filling popcorn bags for people coming in. That was the biggest. I don't even know the seats were probably there. I think there were like 1,500 to 2,000. You can look it up. The Washoe Theater in Anaconda.
Nice. All right, Adelis. What was the through line of what is keeping a few theaters that are left in certain towns alive? Was it a passionate preservation community, or the right location, or something else?
So that's a great question. I did see similar things in the towns where the theaters were alive. These theaters were in a town where the people of the town had an interest in keeping their cultural and artistic life vital. And so it wasn't the theater by itself. There would be other things. There would be a nice bookstore, usually sometimes attached to a cafe, or there'd be a separate cafe. When I say cafe, one that serves really good coffee. And the other element was a microbrewery. Nearly every town that had a thriving cultural life had a microbrewery. Also, if they had some ecotourism going on in the small towns of the West, if they had hiking, rafting, camping, mountain climbing, whatever that was nearby, or it was a through point for people going on to a national park. So it needed other things. The other element that some theaters are going to is they are becoming nonprofits. And what that does is you get buy-in from people in the community who have other interests in film. They have interest in live theater. They have interest in putting on concerts. Somebody who wants to manage the rental of the theater for graduation parties or birthday parties or special events honoring someone, and they can bring in a film to show. So you did see the people that were figuring out how to keep these theaters going.
And the Frida Cinema does that too.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do events or sort of mini film festivals. They'll do Rocky Horror Picture Show with a live audience and whatnot. They get like performers to do it on stage. They'll do plays. They do trivia night. They do award shows there, like award this. So the Frida is really smart about that.
The Orange County Improv Fest is coming to the Frida as well.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm really looking forward to going there. I've never been to that theater.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful theater. Ololiukui, Rustin, great topic. Would love to see a series. Love the Day of the Locust, and would ask, what's your favorite brutally honest film about Hollywood, a la Locust, The Player, Tropic Thunder?
Ooh, wow. Brutally honest film about Hollywood. That's a tough one. I mean, he just named Locust.
Those are the great.
It's hard to beat The Player. Yeah,
The Player. The Player is mine. The Player is mine.
It's hard to beat it, but then you look at something like, Sunset Boulevard is a brutally honest film about Hollywood, but that's early Hollywood. Also, what is it? What's the Kirk Douglas film where he plays? I think he plays a producer or a script writer. I think another film that's brutally honest about the publicity arm of not only Hollywood but of media is, of course, The Sweet Smell of Success. That's a great film. But yeah, I would, Day of the Locust is up there.
And last question for you here. Let's get it.
All right.
Go ahead, Alan.
Being out on the road, you no doubt shot a ton of footage and did plenty of interviews. What was the process like in getting the film down to the 78-minute runtime? And what was the toughest thing you had to cut?
I think the process was fascinating, and I am a lover of any films that allow a film to breathe, that gives you some space to listen to the sound, to enjoy the music if the music is there, to kind of like let you fill in everything that is not specifically in the shot. I always like to have an idea of what's going on outside the frame and try to bring that in, whether it's a train off in the distance or something like that. So to answer the question, it's like I wanted to make a film that was going to have a lot of breathing room where I could just sit on a shot and I could then sit on another shot, or I could do a slow move with my camera. I shot all by myself, and I had a little slider that I put on my tripod so I could do like 2-foot dolly moves. And I wanted to allow for texture and metaphor of all these kind of other ruined spaces that you see in the West, or all these other forgotten structures. And the challenge was integrating that aesthetic idea in with just actually also delivering information and profiling these people. So it was a balance that I had to achieve. One person said they thought the film was too short, which I think is a compliment in a way. It's like they wanted to see more. And I did have to take out a whole sequence that I shot in the small town of what was it? And I'm forgetting the town because I took it out. It's in Oregon near Enterprise, but not Enterprise. I did a whole sequence on this guy who's refurbished this theater into an actor's studio where they put on plays with young thespians, and I just could not work it into. I did a whole sequence and couldn't work it into the film. But so that was the toughest thing that I had to lose.
Well, you can put it on the DVD, which I hope you're going to do.
I was going to say that's why God made DVDs.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Physical media.
Yes,
Tears,
I agree with
Yeah.
that as they try to take our content away that we bought. The movie is The Last Picture Shows. It's coming to indie theaters. Where can people find out more about the movie?
You can go to my website. Just Google The Last Picture Shows with the S and my name, Rustin Thompson. It'll go to my website. I have a whole lineup there of where it's playing, and if there are ticket links up, I try to include those. The big push is New York. We're going to be showing it at the Village East, as I said, and that starts on August 7th is when that run begins.
Oh wow! Look at this, all these dates. This is crazy.
Yeah, and adding more and more. I don't have them all up there yet because we keep adding more every day.
And
or
you
so.
can
We've
buy
got some-
tickets direct from the website. Look at that's
No,
a lot of
yeah,
that's a lot of awards.
Yeah, a lot of film festivals. I played at like 18 film festivals. And yeah, those go directly to the theaters for the ticket links. We just added a couple of dates in London. We've got some more that's happening in hopefully in like the Midwest. And I've got a bunch more dates coming up. One of the main things I wanted to do, and I'm putting this together now with the help of my booking agent, is all the theaters that appear in the film that can show the movie.
They should play the movie.
Yeah, I'm taking the film to them. It'll be one-offs. Although Susanville, California, they're booking the film for a whole week. So you can go there and see it at the Great Sierra Theater.
That's great. Rustin, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for sticking with it through technical difficulties. It happens. And we will congratulations. I suspect awards may be in your future. Maybe award this. You never know.
Yeah, okay.
You never know.
Yeah, you might have to come to the Frida twice.
Yes. I'd love to.
In the next 12 months.
Excellent. Take
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
Thanks
Hey.
for joining us. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
There you go. That was great.
It's a category that doesn't disappoint.
Well, we have a category at Award This called movies about movies or filmmaking. And this fits that category.
Mm-hmm.
It's movies about the movies. And I love those.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do some more reviews, Alan.
Yeah.
You saw The Invite.
Yes, I did.
This is Seth Rogen in this. I mean, a lot of people have been a little turned off by this movie because of Seth Rogen. And it's about an invitation to.
It's just a little dinner party.
Sure it is. What's it about? You
Okay.
saw this. I did not.
Yeah,
Go
so
on,
The
Gary.
Invite is the story of Joe and Angela, played by Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde. And, they're in this kind of marriage that has, they're in a rut. They've been married a long time. And Joe is a failed musician, failed band member. He teaches music. He hates his job. He has a bad back. Angela is she had a career, but kind of gave it up for her husband. And so she just kind of lives in the house and decorates it really nice. And let's just say they're getting bored with their marriage. And one night, a couple days beforehand, they hear their neighbors, Pena and Hawk, played by Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton. And they're having sex. They're having like really loud, really, you could hear it through the walls and it keeps them awake. So what happens is this one evening when Joe comes home, Angela tells him, hey, by the way, don't forget, we invited the neighbors to come for dinner. And he goes, I don't remember that. And he goes, well, I told you. Did you bring the wine? No, I didn't know about it. And so it gets to this whole argument, and Joe really wants to cancel this dinner party, but he can't. And they show up, and basically what happens is it's a dinner party with a lot of discussion, a lot of conversation. And let's just say, as Chris was alluding to, Pena and Hawk, they like experimenting. She's a sexologist, and so they've done on occasion threesomes and foursomes. In fact, they came to apologize for the noise they've been making, but the moaning wasn't them; it was the people they invited. So they had to do threesomes and foursomes, and the occasional orgy. And then there's the invite, which is what this movie is about. And I really like this movie. You can get turned off by the premise, but what the premise does is it's really about Joe and Angela. Joe and Angela, and this marriage that they've fallen into the rut with. Because the reality is if you've been married for a long time, Chris, you're going to experience this in 10 years. But you do fall in these ruts where you're just kind of living together in the same space, and you need something to spice things up. And in this case, it takes this extreme catalyst, which is the foursome, to really spice things up. And as you can imagine, I don't know if you've seen movies like this, as sexy as that sounds, things don't exactly happen the way they plan it to. And it just becomes this, this moment where the four of them have to confront the issues of their marriage and whether this marriage is worth going on with. And that's, to me, I am always drawn to movies about being human, about the struggles that we have living life and having relationships, being in friendships, having a job. Those are the ones we relate to because we live it day to day. And that this is one of those movies that uses an extreme moment to really illumine, what happens to every couple for the most part. And that's falling into these ruts in life. And I think it handles it very well. Again, an extreme catalyst here, but well written, well acted, really insightful. The pacing and the tone of this is relentless. It's nonstop, which is good because you just really get that sense of boredom and desperation that they have with each other. Sadly, Seth Rogen has a public life that kind of takes a public opinion about things, but deep down, he's a good actor. He plays the everyman very well. And Olivia Wilde, same thing. Somehow they managed to put on two good, authentic performances. And so I definitely recommend.
So you recommend it. The thing that kind of gets me is it looks like a filmed play. Like it takes place in one location.
Yeah, it does. It you could definitely say it was a play. It does take place in one location, but it's the pacing of it, because in a play, you tend to be more authentic by having pauses and you let acts play out. But this one, it just kind of it builds up to the point where obviously they have to clash, and by keeping that pace going and going, the clash when it happens really explodes. And I think that's why this works better as a film than it does as a play.
So you recommend it?
Recommendation, yes.
I'm shocked. Would this make a good date movie?
No, but again, I think now that you're married in 10 years, you'll probably see the humor.
Sure. Sure. Okay. All right. I needed convincing. Yeah. I'm not quite convinced, but well, Alan, you liked it. So that says something.
I liked it. Considering I watched it just before Moana, maybe that tainted it a bit. Mike FC Wong, Invite is excellent. Actually, yes. Relationship problems, kind of reminiscent of a much superior movie, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
And I've heard it compared to like a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah. There's definitely elements of that. It's, it is just really goes into foibles of a marriage that has gone dry for a long time. A One Punch fan for 3. James Gunn woke up one day and said, "I like that R&B. Looks that Chris Gore has going." That R&B.
Thank you for noticing.
Okay.
Thank you for noticing.
The One A Train for 5. Stop me if you've heard this before. Bored married couple decides to spice their sex life to reinvigorate their marriage/life. It unfolds in a way that's not quite like that, which is what I like about it.
Thanks,
because they have no idea until the party happens that that's their relationship.
Cool.
And Pookie Malibu for 2. I'm less interested because of Olivia Wilde. Yeah, it's
Didn't
a
she
shame.
direct it? Didn't she?
She did. Yeah, she directed it. It's based on a Spanish film. Rashida Jones and Will McCormick wrote it. Yeah, I mean, I get your feelings about it, and sometimes you just review what's up on the screen and never go past that.
And a few more that we missed, some soups here. Arnold did R-rated movies. I don't think The Rock ever did one. Yeah, he's more family.
Well, Smashing Machine is rated R.
But mostly he does family movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then One Punch Man for 3. Go ahead, Alan.
Oh, I can't wait for the day when Film Threat has 69 million subs. Hopefully before I pass away. Yeah, hopefully. How much time you got left?
Don't. Thank you. And one more from One Punch Fan.
Yeah,
this is my a $3 singing.
Yeah, you need to
tip.
sing more.
No.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
I think people do. And I think people will pay for it.
Hey, Alan, I saw a movie you did not. Evil Dead Burn. This is the latest film in the Evil Dead series. And I'll just say this. It is the goriest, the most cruel and mean of any of the Evil Dead films. I'm sorry. I'm at the point now when these series go beyond the elements that made them fun. They've lost something. I'll get into the story in a moment, but this film really made me miss Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell as Ash. The only connection it has to that film is the researcher who made the original recordings of the Book of the Dead. Those recordings are part of this film. No other element connects to it. It doesn't have that Sam Raimi sense of humor. It doesn't have the Bruce Campbell wink and a nod to the audience. It doesn't have the sense of fun. It doesn't have gushing blood in over-the-top comedic way. This is a played straight, realistic story of a family. You see a French woman is married to a man who dies tragically at the beginning of the film. She gets in a fight with her husband. He drives off in a fit of anger, drunk, and hits a horrible one of the demons and becomes possessed upon his death. She goes back to the family. They have a funeral. His body is part of the funeral and rises to then infect other members of the family who die in brutal, horrible ways. The reason this movie didn't work for me, and I'll say, I watched this film with my wife who walked out. She said, I'll sit and watch it for a little bit. She walked out in the first 5 minutes. The story hadn't even begun. And it got so gory, she said, I'm out. And she went shopping at Ross. So I'm there by myself watching this. And this movie, it's a French director that I'm not so much familiar with. It's Sebastian Vanacek. And this movie has no sense of humor whatsoever. Attempts at humor just fall completely flat. It was too look, and I'm no prude. I've seen the Terrifier films, but the Terrifier films tone is it's a sense of whimsy, almost mocking the other characters. Art the Clown is fun. These are other possessed family members one by one trying to kill and possess others that just up the stakes. And when you find out what the subtext of the movie really is, it's about that the young woman was abused by her husband who died tragically. It's about abuse in a relationship. So it's this sort of dark, serious theme that's not really present in any other previous Evil Dead movie. I remember I saw the last one and and I enjoyed it. It was fun. This one is an hour 50+ minute slog. And I will say this on the plus side. When it gets going, it doesn't get going until the middle of the film. And then I actually honestly started to have it's like, oh, what? Now we're making an Evil Dead movie. But the first half is this, the relationship, the abuse, there's a funeral, and then family members, they have this awkward family dinner. Like, it's just, what is this movie? When it starts to actually become an Evil Dead movie, like in the middle of the film, I actually started to enjoy it. But they could have chopped half of the first half of the movie to get to the good stuff. What it lacks is the sense of humor. So I'll say it's my least favorite of all the Evil Dead films. If this wasn't connected to Evil Dead, I might have enjoyed it. But, there are people that are hardcore purists that are going to love it. It's the lack of Bruce Campbell, the lack of humor, which I always thought was a part of Evil Dead. The audience I saw it with didn't laugh once. Very somber. They were very sort of low key when they saw it. And I walked out going, what the hell did I just see? So I can't recommend it. My least favorite of all the Evil Dead films. If you can, here's what I recommend. Walk into the movie about 30 minutes in. That's what you need. Cut that first 30 minutes, get right to the good stuff, and there's something there to enjoy. But ultimately, I can't in good conscience recommend Evil Dead Burn.
But did you get the popcorn bucket?
I did not.
Yeah. That's the thing I've been noticing lately, and people have called me out on it, but I just feel like when it comes to gore and horror, there is a line. And I certainly have seen films that walk up to the line, but it just feels like more and more films these days crosses that line to the point where I'm just turned off by it now.
The thing that turned me off was it's mean. The movie is mean. The characters are mean to the wife who lost her husband. They hate her. There's just like the movie's mean. What they do to the characters is mean. But the gore that happens like in the Raimi Evil Dead films, it's kind of funny, and it's sort of like this person deserved it. And this was just I didn't I mean there's as a horror fan, there's good stuff in there. As an Evil Dead fan, I did not enjoy it. So that's why I came to that conclusion.
So Lee Cronin's Mummy mean?
Yes, on that level. And he's one of the producers on the movie.
Okay.
Let's go to your comments.
All right. Groovy Lava Squirrel Medic for 5. Evil Dead Burn was phenomenal. Uncomfortable watch at times in true Evil Dead fashion, but I loved it. Better than Rise, on par with the 2013, in my humble opinion.
Well, Groovy Lava Squirrel Medic, I don't agree with you, but I respect your opinion because there are things in it to enjoy. Like I said, in the first half just is a slog. Once it gets to the good stuff, like it's then it becomes an Evil Dead movie, but it almost took too long for me. It kind of lost me. So,
but this just emboldens my. It's like I don't need to see these movies.
Well, I think it's got like good, reviews on like Rotten. It just didn't work for me. Didn't work for me.
Which is why I don't review horror films.
Fair.
Yeah. Andy Miller for 2. Chris, just the loopy and Morton driven folk away.
Not sure I understand it, Andy, but I appreciate the comment.
It's that British language. I just can't translate sometimes.
All right.
Corey Timmons for 5. If you don't speak up for physical games, movies are next. Believe me, it's what they want. Stand for us and speak.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's we're going to lose history in 100 years when everything is digital. Because what do they say? Discs last maybe a max of 100 years. And
Well,
if
film,
everything's
I mean,
film, physical film, Blu-ray discs last maybe 100 years max. And I've got some DVDs that are like more 20 years plus old. Yeah, we're going to lose something of our history if you don't preserve physical media. This rush to streaming was a mistake.
yeah. I had to say, you lost games years ago. The 1A train for 10, Evil Dead Burn sounds like a documentary of the 2 hours immediately after I ate Taco Bell. For me, it's more Del Taco. Than Taco Bell.
Yeah, Evil Dead Burn. They should have a Taco Bell meal that ties into it.
Yeah. Oakley for 5. I think a live action remake of Atlantis, The Lost Empire, or Treasure Planet would be good. I actually reviewed, someone actually did do a live action version of the first 10 minutes of Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and it's actually very good. You can see the review on Film Thread. Christopher Moonlight Productions going to see you at Comic-Con. Does Evil Dead Burn at least have a satisfying resolution this time? Rise just kind of stopped with nothing resolved.
Yes.
Yeah, the good guys won. One Punch Fan 3. Well, it makes sense that Chris's wife had enough gore for the day. Ha ha. Ha ha.
I'll take it.
Oh, Lee Kui. I'm glad Ash vs. Evil Dead quit when they did and didn't wear out its welcome, even though it was sad to see it end.
Yeah. All right, couple more films for us to review. Alan, you and I both saw Gail, Daughtry, and the Celebrity Sex Pass. Oh my. Let's talk about this movie, Alan.
Yes.
Why don't you let's go through the story real quick, the setup, which you see in the trailer. Gail Daughtry is a young woman, super positive. She's a hairdresser, works at a shop. She's about to be married.
She lives in rural Kansas.
Rural Kansas. It's a small town, and she's just a super positive, happy person, loves her fiance, can't wait to get married. And when Jennifer Aniston comes to town
to promote a book,
her book, they go to the book signing and they talk about who their celebrity sex pass would be, which is a person, if you're married, that if you ever had a chance to have sex with that celebrity, then you get a pass to do it. And you each have one person. The whole idea is you'd never do it because it would never happen. Well, he just says, well, mine's Jennifer Aniston, but whatever. They go to the book signing and he forgot something, goes back to the bookstore. He ends up in the back rooms having sex with Jennifer Aniston, who plays Jennifer Aniston in the movie. She's got her legs up, high heels. He's doing his business. And she walks in on them. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It makes her question everything. She ends up going to a hair convention in Hollywood, and her sex pass is John Hamm. And you know what? She's convinced by her, well, it's got to be the best gay friend. I forget the character's name.
It's Otto.
Yes, best gay friend. It's like, yeah, you should track down John Hamm and have sex with him to even the score before you get married. And that's that's the journey that ends up becoming a sort of over the top, doesn't take itself too seriously comedy that is the Celebrity Sex Pass. And John Hamm,
so you're going to completely ignore the mafia angle?
Yes, there's a mafia subplot where briefcases are switched and the mafia is after her to try to get this briefcase back, which ends up being a whole weird MacGuffin in the end. We're not going to get to it. But this movie is so over the top, it doesn't take itself seriously. I really never really got into it with the tone of the film. I can't say I didn't laugh. And there's some really good cameos. John Slattery, among others. Like I say, John Hamm ends up being in the movie, playing himself. Before we get into it, Alan, what did you think of Gail Daughtry in the celebrity.
Yeah,
set.
see, I told you, I said before the show, did you see it? And I go, yeah. And before you could start, I go, we need to save it for the show. And then I said, because we probably disagree. And
Let's hear it.
We do. I really love this movie.
What? I did not.
I did.
All right, let's hear it.
I'll tell you the big reason why I am such a fan of The State. I don't know how much if you watch The State on
Yeah, I
MTV.
love The State.
Yeah, I mean it's
David
basically
Wayne,
got the entire state in the movie. It's directed by David Wayne, written by David Wayne and Ken Marino, and everyone in the state is in the movie. Let's see, Thomas Lennon, let me see, Carrie Kenny, and even Michael Ian Hall. But the thing is, normally I would not like a movie like this because it's silly for the sake of being silly.
Right.
But for some reason, these guys from the state, and they've had a long time to work on this, have found the formula of making silly, A, hilarious, and B, a plot point. And I think the main reason this movie works is that there are rules to the comedy in here. Comedy doesn't happen just because it works as a joke in the scene, but it has to follow very specific rules, such as the character of Gail, played by Zoe Deutscher. Her character is well defined and never breaks character. You know, she is the goody two shoes, and there's not a moment in this movie that she compromises her character. Same with Otto, same with the others. That even Tony Slattery or John Slattery. John Slattery. He plays a caricature of himself, and he just maintains that. And it is just such a well balanced film in that sense. And so when the silliness occurs, again, it just feels organic to what's going on. And I found myself laughing a lot. My audience, they were just, it's like it's weird. The way it works is there'll be stretches of silence as things happen. And then this one joke will hit, and the entire audience just burst out in laughter. And then it'll get quiet again. And then something happens that is just unexpected, and the audience just bursts out in laughter. By no means is it a perfect film. Like there's a part where Richard Kind, talk about cameos. He's their taxi driver, and he starts going on about these one-hit wonder actors like Elizabeth Perkins. And goes on about Elizabeth Perkins. And it's at that point you realize, so I wonder when Elizabeth Perkins is going to show up in this movie.
She's in the movie. Weird Al Yankovic, Paul Rudd, Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
There's great cameos.
But
I will say,
the fact that, okay, so I'll correct one of your descriptions. One is, so the Tom, the husband or the fiance, he had a different hall pass. But after they met Jennifer Aniston, he goes, wow, I'm a really big fan of Jennifer Aniston. And they go, well, then Gail says, well, maybe she should be your new hall pass. He goes, yeah, I think she should. And then he goes back and has sex with her. And it's like, oh my God,
look,
this is hilarious.
I can't say I didn't laugh. It just, I never, and by the way, I saw this as part of the mystery movie at AMC. And as soon as people saw what the title of the movie was, some people walked out, and the audience was not quite along for the ride.
But it's not. I mean, it's unlike the invite. It's less tittillating as that. There's not.
It's not really titillating.
Yeah, it's an idea that is played out but never seen. And then the ending was like, oh my God, this is the perfect ending to all of this nonsense.
I do like the thread I really loved in the film.
Yeah.
I thought worked was all the being so Gail Daughtry's being naive about everything. Her naivete about like Hollywood. And when people would say like Richard Kind as the taxi driver, Uber driver, like, oh, well, he's telling them about Hollywood and what they say about Hollywood and having, living here. It's all bull. They even go to CAA in the movie. And CAA is in the movie, which is a big, agency. Well, let's just go to CAA to get John Hamm's number.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's my point. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is the fun. Gail Daughtry as a character, Zoe Deutsch as that character. I love that character. I'd like to see her in another movie.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is the rules are well defined. Look, you would never watch a Marx Brother movie if at some point they broke character. You know, if
Right.
Harpo just all of a sudden decide to talk and say something like Dopey did in Snow White, you know, all the characters are defined and they maintain that character from start to finish. And that means they take the story seriously, and that jokes are put in there because it serves the story and not just to get the laugh. And that's what I appreciate, and it worked for the most part.
Well, but then you've got the mafia thread going through, which
Yeah.
was like a Tarantino movie
I know,
mixed
but
with it. It's so over the top. I wasn't
know, but that's what
fully
I liked
down
about it.
with it.
No, I mean, I agree with you. Once it showed up, it was like, oh my God, is it going to turn to this? But then it plays out, especially at the end when the final confrontation. No, I'll just say when the final confrontation happens. I mean, I got that's the moment that people really start laughing, because it was like stuff came out of nowhere, but it just worked. It just worked.
Well, I don't even think I need to ask. Do you recommend
Yeah, I
Gail
recommend
Daughtry?
I said,
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it a mild recommend. You have to be in the mood for it. And you have to know going in, because I do like The State a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do like those performers like Ken Marino, who plays a character in the film. It ends up being almost like a Wizard of Oz adventure, but the land she goes to is Hollywood, like the Wizard of Oz in Hollywood. Collecting.
Well, there is that moment in the movie.
Collecting all these friends that are on her journey to help her achieve this crazy goal. So I give it a mild recommend. You brought me, but the audience I saw it with was not down. They were not down.
Mine was. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Look, going in, it's silly. It is silly comedy from start to finish. And if that's not your comedy, skip it. But that's my comedy. I like silly.
Let's go to comments from people. Whoa.
Ooh, hey, Groovy Lava Squirrel Medic for 20. Just FYI, is connected to all the ED series. There are multiple Necronomicons, and different demons.
Necronomicons and different demons. Thanks, Groovy Lava Squirrel
The fact
Medic.
that that's a word.
Yes, it does connect. It does connect. But it's sort of, it's not the character. Yes, it connects. I agree. I mean, I saw it. So what can I say? Yeah, that was the point of connection. So, and thank you. Very generous there. That's much appreciated.
Lord Thoth, wow, the boys are oppressed a lot today.
Opposed. And oppressed. We're oppressed.
Tucker Time question. What's your celebrity sex pass? Gosh,
I don't have one.
I think it was Angelina Jolie.
Great.
I forgot what hers was. It might have been Dean Cain, but
well, there you go. Hey, thanks, Jeff Tucker. Tucker time. Jeff, gotta see you soon. I'm overdue for a trip to Knott's. Miss you, brother.
Yeah, my daughter's boyfriend works there. Mike MC Wong, the invite was better than Gail Daughtry. They're two completely different movies.
Yeah, those are completely
very different movies.
Completely different. And
but I laughed more at Gail Daughtry than I did at the invite.
Yeah. One last film to review for today. Mockbuster is a movie about a young man who wants to make his first feature film. He makes this guy, Anthony Frith. He's Australian. He makes like industrial films, and he happens upon a company called The Asylum, and they make bad movies. So he pitches them a bad movie. He's got about 4 days to make the film, and he documents. Mockbuster is the documentary about the making of the Asylum movie that he makes in the film. Asylum, of course, made the Sharknado movies. They always, like, if there's a movie that's out there like Project Hail Mary, they'll make a cheap movie in 6 days that's a ripoff of Project Hail Mary, which I think they did. I think showed a trailer for that.
Mm-hmm.
They just make bad movies, and that's what they do. Eric Roberts is in the film, playing himself. And if you've ever wanted to make a movie, even a bad one or a good one, this is a very comedic look at kind of how low budget movies get made. And these movies are not made to be good. They are bad. But you see like the struggles he gets through with like the casting process, with like even costuming, the budget. He literally has almost no money. He's got money to shoot for about 4 to 6 days, but that like just their problem after problem after problem. It gives you a newfound appreciation for making low budget indie movies, which is all about problem solving. If you want to see what that process is like, it's here, and you get to see it done in the most fun way. Strong recommend. We interviewed the director when the movie premiered at a festival, and it's a lot of fun, and it's out now. You can see it limited theatrical, I assume on VOD at some point. So check out Mockbuster, directed by Anthony Firth, who's in the movie, and he documents himself making the movie. So he's the doc filmmaker, but he's also making the movie in there. So strong recommend and a lot of fun. And there you go. Let's
So
see
you
if you
made
have
me
some-
see Maddie's Secret, and we're not going to talk about it.
Oh, we're going to.
You said that this was the last one.
No, I'm wrong.
Okay. Because I can't hold on to that movie another week. Royston Bailey for 6. I'm going to say Bitcoins. YouTube recommendation, father-son interview, Curry Barker.
All right, I'll look it up. Look it up. Yes,
Uh,
I was
Blarg.
wrong. I was wrong. There's one more movie. It's actually not.
Because you're all going to
in
want to
the-
see
It's not in
Maddie's
the
Secret.
banners because I don't see it. But I'll do that.
It's on the list.
myself.
It's on the list.
It's on
been
the list. Oh, it's on the list, but it's not on the banners that were created.
All right. So from
I have to
Blarg,
make the banner.
Blarg says the asylum was legendary in the final days of video rental stores.
I love the asylum. I think they're great. So, I mean, they don't take themselves too seriously. Let's say that. But yes, my apologies. There is one more movie to review today. Alan, you saw Maddie's Secret.
Yes, I did.
And first of all, I've seen this poster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious about what the secret is.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what the secret is. Madison Ralph, otherwise known as Maddie, she is a dishwasher at Gourmet Bee, which is a publication for Condé Nast. And one day she's always had a love for cooking, and she comes up with this great recipe that basically she goes viral. She's on the social medias. She posts these videos, and she becomes a viral sensation. Well, over at the company, there's this show called The Boar, kind of like The Bear, but it's a television series that spotlights a chef and their kind of point of view when it comes to cooking. And Maddie is in the running to be the host of that show.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so Maddie decides, okay, I'm going to go all out. But she's obviously got competition. Claudia O'Dowd plays her competition in the movie. Let me see. Okay. And so the pressure builds up so much that and with her family background issues, she basically breaks down. She develops an eating disorder or redevelops an eating disorder. She's bulimic. And because she's throwing up, when she goes home to her husband, he's like, "What are you doing in the bathroom?" And she says, "I'm pregnant," when actually she's covering up the fact that she is bulimic. And at the height of it all, she collapses and is forced to go to an eating disorder center. And the question is, can she pull her life back together and become the viral chef that she was meant to be? Or is she doomed to a life where she could die of cardiac arrest because of the devastation that anorexia has? And yes, Maddie's secret is she's anorexic.
I'm not sure if you're telling me everything, Alan.
I am telling you everything.
Because
this is the story. This is the story of the movie.
I'm looking at the poster for
Yes.
Maddie's Secret.
Okay, you're looking at the poster. What?
Is there a different secret you're not telling me?
What, in the movie?
Yes.
Well, if I go strictly by the story of the movie, the answer would be a resounding no. The secret is that she's anorexic.
I don't. Okay, she's anorexic,
Yeah.
but I think is there more to it than
Well,
that?
I mean, if you're talking about the stellar performance of Maddie by actor John Early, is that what you might be referring to?
Well, I saw a very different poster for this film. Here it is. I'm going to share it for you. That's
Yeah.
the poster. Why does it look so bad?
Because it's a landscape.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say-
Okay. There we go.
There, she's on a fork. It's a seductive pose of a naked woman behind a fork. But I feel like there's a different secret you're not telling me.
Well,
Alan.
again, what's interesting? So Maddie's played by John Early, who's a New York actor.
Basically, she's a drag queen. Is that true? Did
Yeah,
you, when
kind
you
of.
saw the movie going in, did you know that?
Look, the first time I noticed was when Maddie first appeared on screen.
No.
Yeah, but there's a point because the pressure is so on for her to make this to be on this TV show that she does these intense workouts, and no matter how hard she tries, she can't quite get that girlish figure she needs. And so
This
yeah,
looks like a John Waters movie.
yeah.
Is it funny?
But the thing is, it is so unironic. I mean, just the fact that Maddie is played by a man, and let's be clear here, he's a gay man who is portraying Maddie as a woman. And so Maddie story-wise is female from start to finish. That's why people can believe that the fact that wasn't a penis the doctor saw, but it was a baby or something like that. I mean, this is just one of those movies that I have to say, and be totally honest, if you feel like that the best way to tell this story is to play the lead character and you're a man and playing the female lead character, I mean, I have to ask the obvious question. What is it about your point of view about the subject of eating disorders and the pressures of being a foodie on the internet? What is it about your point of view that is unique and different from if a woman was to tell this story? And honestly, I've seen plenty of movies and television shows about eating disorders that is like, there's really nothing new being said here or nothing important being said here. And it makes me just question that decision from the get-go. Because look, show me something that I have never seen before about the subject as you being a man playing a woman in this role, and it's not there. And I just felt like, so why did you take the role away from a woman who's probably more apt to understand the part better than you do? And you know, look, it's almost 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, which tells you the state of Rotten Tomatoes, but it from the get-go, it is hard to take this movie seriously. And it really needed to say something profound enough to justify the decision of the actor.
If this were a straight up comedy, okay, I like John Waters made a lot of movies with Glenn Milstead. Glenn Milstead is the real name of the drag queen Divine. And it's hilarious. You're in on the joke, and all the projects that John Waters made with Glenn Milstead, aka Divine, were comedies. This not being a comedy, a serious drama with a man playing a woman. I mean, is it laughable, but for the wrong reasons?
No, I mean, look, we saw Stop That Plane or Stop That Train.
Yeah, but that's funny. That
Right,
movie-
but it played into the whole drag queen genre there. This one doesn't. No, this one, you might as well have cast a woman in this role. You know, I mean, there's nothing, you know, again, you know, if you're going to take that bold step and take the lead role as a man, you've got to say something more profound than what you've got to say something that can only be said from a man's standpoint on the subject. You just can't be part of the noise or part of the regular story about this. You know, regular stories of eating disorders and such. So it's like, I walked out going, why was this movie made? And I've learned nothing about the subject because of it.
Well, maybe that should be a new genre of movies. Why was this movie made? Do you recommend it?
No. I mean, look, the only reason I would recommend it is out of morbid curiosity. but I'm
a terrible reason.
Look, the reason I should see this movie is because it touches on the powerful issue of eating disorders and anorexia. You know, it says something. If you are suffering from that, this movie has something to say to you. That's what I should be saying about this movie, but I can't even say that.
Let's go to comments, and they're pretty funny.
Mike MC Wong, I was fooled by the fork poster. Let's just say I don't think that's necessarily a photorealistic image of. I think the legs might have been worked on in that one. The original Captain Durag, Austin Power says, "It's a man, baby."
Yeah, I thought of that when I saw that other poster.
Pookie Malibu, sing the man to woman song. Go to if you are if you are a member of the Film Threat channel, I do the entire song. And only members can watch it.
With the lyrics.
The entire song.
You're a member, wait. Yes, Pookie Malibu is a member. Go there. Look for, he sings all the lyrics. It's crazy.
The entire song. All right.
Yeah.
T.A. Gallman. Holy shit! It's not a comedy. They play it straight. It's a look. I'll call it a after school special on eating disorders. That's about as comedic as
hey.
Yeah, Andrew Grant for 20. I'm confused. What is the secret? What is in Maddie's secret? She has anorexia.
She has anorexia, and a bonus secret, she's a man, baby.
She's played by a dude, yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. That's great. Very generous. Thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, ADL is 24, Ololique on Rumble, and thank you to Alan for seeing movies that I ended up not having to see.
You're welcome.
And if you're
I give you credit for having seen Leviticus. So
I saw Leviticus. I'll keep my word on that.
Right.
I'll keep my word on that. But also, folks, reminder: subscribe if you have not on either. If you're listening to the audio, subscribe on Spotify. We're trying to get to 169,000, and join us at San Diego Comic-Con booth 1705 on Friday, July 24th. At 2 p.m. and Saturday, July 25th at 11 a.m. And come to our Indie Filmmaker Survival Guide panel on Friday, July 24th, 12:30 p.m., room 24 ABC at San Diego Comic-Con. And that's it. Alan, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing? Let's see. Gosh, not a whole lot. There's no movies out in the theaters right now.
I did the same thing. I looked, I'm like, I want to see a movie that I want to see for recreational purposes, and
there's nothing there.
There's nothing.
I could see Supergirl again.
Yeah, you could, but that's it. We will see you Monday with Versus. Going to be a lot of fun, and next week is Odyssey week, so get ready. Alan,
let's get out of here.